Hello and welcome to round 2 of the RSR Cup Season 3. This is your official commentated live stream today with Pamela, Battenberg and Flying Cayman.
Hello. Hello.
We're taking the Porsche Cayman GT4 to Imola. This is, as we said, top split. We've got a 23 car grid today. And qualifying is about to begin. So let's see who can put in a good lap and put the car on pole. Just waiting for the first couple of cars to leave the pits, and then we'll have something to show you on the screen. Hopefully.
So,
go on.
we're on Imola today then. So we'll talk a bit about that while we're waiting for the
yeah, absolutely. As they all stream out of the pits now. Yeah, so a difficult track here. It's one that requires a very specific driving style. Sort of from my point of view, I always feel that you need to be quick off the corners rather than necessarily carrying minimum apex speed here. It's all about getting the car stopped and then getting the car going again, rather than holding the highest minimum speed possible.
Yeah, it's quite a stop-start sort of track. There's quite a few chicanes to break up the straights that we've got going on here.
Yeah.
The longest straight is coming up the final corner, across the start-finish line to the first corner. So I think that's going to be where we see in most of our overtaking happening going into turn one. Yeah,
longest straight, biggest braking point. It's not a sort of straight, but it is comfortably flat in cars like these, so there's not going to be any issues there. Another point to mention is coming into Rivatsa, the last couple of corners, it's a very difficult braking zone because it's quite steeply downhill. So we'll probably see some mistakes there, and it is possible to put a pass on there if you are very brave, basically. You know, it's not an easy place to pass, but it is certainly doable.
It also kinks ever so slightly to the right as well. So once you're braking, you need to make sure you're braking in a straight line without drifting off to the left.
Absolutely, yeah. You need to either sort of lift as you go down through there, or get round the corner and then brake very hard just after it, as we're seeing the cars come down through there now. Very difficult part of the track. We'll probably see some action there in the race.
So keeping it contemporary with the F1 races today, I think track limits are going to be a bit of a talking point today. And off the top of my head, I can think of two places where people could gain advantage by running wide, which we don't really like to see. And that would be on the exit of Piratella, which is the fast left-hand kick at the start of sector 2. And also with the chicane in the middle sector of the barrier team Malta. I think if cars run wide there, it is possible for them to gain a bit of advantage by getting on the front a bit earlier than the short.
Yeah, you do see that quite commonly around Imola. So it's one of those tracks where in the real world I think it's accepted, whereas within RSR rules that's not something that's allowed. So it'll be interesting to see who copes best with that, who can adjust the line and get the the clean but quick lap time. Starting to see some.
We're on board with Bobby at the moment. We've seen a really good clean lap happening. As I said,
there you go. You've cursed him.
Yeah, commentator's curse, I think.
Absolutely, yeah. So this, if we stay on board though, this is the chicane that Battenberg was talking about. This is where it's very easy to run wide on the exit. And then we can see, yeah, Puffy does a really good job there keeping the car in line. But you can see it did want to step out, and that's where I think we may see some people running wide later on. It's very easy to get the car unsettled, particularly with those big curbs on both apexes of that chicane.
And for those of you who aren't familiar with RSR, one of our driving standards is our track limit rule, which is 2 wheels within the white lines at all times. So that does not include curbing. So if we see all 4 wheels beyond the white line on the curbing, we kind of count that as a track cut. And we expect our members to be self-policing, so if they feel they gain advantage, they shouldn't really lift off the straight, but that doesn't always happen.
So first few laps on the board now, currently topped by Puff Pirate with a 51.5, but as we saw in that lap there was a bit of a mistake, so I'm sure there's, as I speak, that has been beaten by 5 Aces for New with a 51.4, so there's time to come off these, I'm sure. These are just the first runs, and it is 15 minutes left in the session, so we will see some more laps and probably some time coming off there. Current fastest sectors, Night Tiger's just done fastest in sector 1, so he is a big improvement, 1.5 seconds off at the moment, but I think he's going to go quite a bit faster on his second lap. Someone's off in the wall there.
Okay. With a 51.4, the current benchmark, do you think it's possible we're going to see 150?
Most definitely.
Quite possibly, yeah. I mean, 5 Aces has just taken that fastest first sector away from Night Tiger as well, so he's on an even faster lap. Night Tiger is still circulating though, so I'm expecting to see his second sector time pop up any time now. There we go, it's a green sector for him, so not the fastest we've seen, but his fastest so far.
But Puffy just puts in a nice purple sector in sector 2.
Exactly, yeah, so we've got time sort of tumbling all over the place right now.
Looking at 5 Aces going around the final few corners, finishing his lap. Look at the top end there, get down the straight.
So now Puff Pirate has taken the pole with 51.2, and Bernu has just beaten him by 400ths of a second.
Wow, very, very little in it. Yeah. I think we're definitely going to see something in the 50s, and I think it's quite likely we will see a high 49 by the end of the session. Let's see how we got on. So on board with Night Tiger again, he's currently sitting 3rd place, about 8/10 off the pace of Puff Pirate and 5 Aces for New. As we said, that Diluvian's just put himself 3rd, just over 7/10 off. So quite a gap at the moment.
It's quite interesting to see between Puff Pirate and Vernu. Vernu has the edge in Sector 1, Sector 2 is about the same, and Sector 3, it's a Puffy's strong point, so over at the lap, very close, but quite different where they find their speed.
Yeah, and sort of quite different sectors there, so I think Sector 3, I believe starts just before that tight chicane.
Just after it.
Just after, okay, so Sector 3 really then only has the 2 corners. It's got the downhill braking zone and the sort of double left of Rivatsa. So really the time to be gained in Sector 3 is coming off the chicane at Sector 2 and then getting a really good exit out of Rivatsa 2 to get that speed down the straight. Whereas with Sector 1, you've got the sort of fairly fast flowing chicanes in the first sector, where it's all about getting the car through there as sort of stably as possible. You don't want to unsettle the car under braking. So yeah, it's a different driving style. It's possible that's related to setup, I think, as well.
Yeah, Sector 3 definitely favours a car stronger in a straight line. Whereas
Yes.
say a more stable, more safe setup would favour Sector 1.
Or possibly even just a bit more downforce.
Yeah, could be as simple as that.
Today it's just gone purple in Sector 3. Now half a second, or just over half a second off the lead. And Night Tiger's closed that gap a bit as well, so there's now, we've got 4 cars within 6/10 of a second.
The driver's is sitting in the cockpit though, relaxing. I think he's waiting for the 10-minute mark.
Yeah, I think he must be sort of prepping his next run. I know he's had limited practice with this setup and with this car, so he may be sort of still tweaking that a little bit just to get his car exactly where he wants it for the race. Bit of a surprise at the moment. Last last week's winner, Stolnikus, currently sitting 17th, 3.2 seconds off the pace. Wonder if he's not yet had a clean lap, or maybe he's just sort of struggling to set up with his car around this track. Hard to tell. Will be interested to see where he gets the car at the end of the session.
Also worth saying now, before we get into the race, Stolnikus was the winner for the last round, but he's not in any team. And actually the top 2 teams in the championship, Me and My Monkey and Demon Shockers Racing, neither of their races, none of them, all 4 of them, are here today. They're all missing.
Yeah, which means that so 3rd and 4th in the teams championship, and indeed 5th, which are all very close together. 3rd are on 32 points, 4th are on 31 points, and 5th are only got 29 points. So there's only 3 points between those 3 teams there. They have a really big opportunity to jump into the lead here. And we saw last time out James L had a very, very strong result as an amateur. I think he finished 3rd or 4th actually.
He got onto the podium, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He was on the podium, you're right. So him and Eladia, who is racing this week, have a really strong chance of getting a good lead.
Sorry to interrupt, guys, but Papa just took the lead with a 150.
Oh wow, that's a big improvement. Over half a second gain there. Purple in sectors 2 and 3. But like you said again, not as strong in sector 1. I think possibly Pirate has set the car up for that sort of latter stage of the lap, and that will probably translate into a car that's able to overtake as well. If we assume that's a car that's good in a straight line, quick off the corners, fairly possibly low on downforce, he should have a good chance, if he does get stuck behind anyone or needs to lap any traffic, to get past them quite quickly with that sort of setup. Following Gopher at the moment, he's currently sitting 7th with a 52.2. None of the sectors on that lap were an improvement, but it looks like he's going for another one. You can see it's that braking zone in turn 1, just how hard the cars are working to get stopped and slowed down. You can see the wobbling under braking. It's a
Really
very,
nice
very
looking
difficult
car
car.
as well.
Yeah, they're a lovely looking car. And it's a really nice livery he's got on there as well.
Oh, as he gets a bit sideways out of that corner.
He's working that car hard, isn't he? See what the first sector's looking like when he goes through the timing split. Okay, so that's his personal best there with a 36.3. So if he can maintain this momentum, he should improve his lap time. Going now through Piratella, this is one of the points that we mentioned earlier. It's very easy to run wide, and unfortunately it's one of those places where running wide doesn't actually really penalise your lap time. So nice to see him taking a good clean line through there. Right on the edge of the white line, but very, very good driving there. Should be getting his second this time.
Big cars too as well. I'm hearing the car scraping over the sausage curbs as he's going over it in the middle of the car.
Yeah,
I
mean it's
scraping happening.
Yeah, possibly.
How low he put that car. The ride height must be really low for him.
No improvement on his personal best in the second sector, but it looked quite good, so he may still be able to improve over the full lap. Let's watch him over the line, see how he does. Currently sitting 7th on a 52.2. And it doesn't look like that was an improvement, unfortunately, for him.
Today has improved his time to a 51.4, so now only 2 tenths behind Vernu in second. But there's still a half-second gap between Puffy in P1 and Vernu in second.
Looking at the list, see if anyone's going faster, or as we see today, go a little bit wide there at Piratella. So as we approach the last 5 minutes, I'll give you a quick rundown of the top 10 in qualifying as they stand. We currently have Puff Pirate on pole with a 150.6. 5 aces for New is sitting second, followed by Today, Light Tiger and Diluvian. We've got Colonel McCoy in 6th, Gopher in 7th. Elo Deer and James L, the teammates we were talking about earlier on, are sitting 8th and 9th respectively. And then Hoikis is in 10th, who had a very, very strong showing in his first race last week, but unfortunately had some bad luck towards the end of the race.
Carry on from there, we've got Gibbs in 11th, Doctor 46th in 12th, Sharky in 13th, Dutch Tastic in 14th, Philip Ackman 15th, Neb 16th, Stolnicus, our round one winner, is still struggling in P17, Bumpercarrot in 18th, Droops in 19th, and Rillo rounding up top 20.
As we're speaking, Puff Pirate's gone faster in Sector 2. Although he appears to he appears to be in the pits, maybe he made a mistake and in the end of Sector 2. Yeah, Stolnicus, his Sector 1 time's very, very good this lap, but he just had a poor middle sector by the looks of it. Sort of 3 to 4 seconds off like that sort of time of Puff Pirate and Diluvian in the middle sector there. First and third seem pretty good for him, so I'm wondering if he's just struggling to put a lap together and actually there is pace in that car.
Yeah, if I was to make a guess, probably struggling in the Minerali section. It's like a double right-hander with a uphill left right and shortly afterwards. It's quite a big commitment section of corners, so I think there's going to be a lot of time to lose. It'll probably be there.
Yeah, it's a very, very difficult section certainly, and I mean it's because you tend to be braking downhill whilst turning into the first turn as well. It's very, very easy to sort of lose the car a little bit there, and even if you don't have a proper spin or a crash, it can just ruin your lap very, very easily. So it's a very tricky section to get right without quite a lot of practice. Oh, looks like Today is on a good lap. So Today is on his personal best for sectors 1 and 2 at the moment. Judging by that split we saw on screen, he may be challenging Vanu for second. I don't think he's going to be up with Puff Pirate though. Be interesting to see how this lap finishes for him. Looked like he got a good exit there at the final corner, so he should have a good run.
Stolnicus is on the better lap now as well. His middle sector is 2/10 off of what Today just did.
So like I said, Today does improve, but only by about a 1/10.5, so no change in position there. So yeah, Stolnicus has done his personal best first and middle sector, so if he can finish this lap, he should jump up the leaderboard, and he does. He goes 5th. Very nice time there, 51.8. That's much more what we were expecting from him this week after an amazing showing last week actually.
So just about 2 minutes to go, and we've got pretty much everyone apart from Gibbs and Circuit going for another free time.
Gibbs has spun out now, so I think he was going to try to put it on the lap.
But he's possibly abandoned. Looks like Stolnicus probably didn't have time for a second lap, Diluvian in the pits as well, so I think everyone else is still on a lap and we're still going to get a lap. See whose sector times are looking good, see who we need to follow over the line.
The Doctor is on a better lap at the moment.
Oh yes, 2 personal bests. Let's see how he crosses the line. They're currently sitting 12th on a 52.5. And he jumps to 10th on a 52.2. So a nice little improvement there.
Track is warming up nicely.
Yeah, I think
these times are getting faster and faster.
Quite possibly going to be a case of who last across the line here.
We say that currently track temperature is 17 degrees. That's actually quite chilly by most racer standards.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
But, I mean, I imagine with the sort of rubber will be adding to the circuit, and then yeah, hopefully we'll have some improvements there, sort of in terms of lap time. But it'd be interesting to see if anyone can sort of cross the line just at the very end of the session. You can see today really working that car hard in the braking zone. Oh, his sectors, yeah, no improvements in the first or second sector, but he is going to get another go. He's going to cross the line. He's probably going to be the last over the line. He's going to get another lap.
Let's go on board with his last lap.
Yeah, let's watch him. So currently sitting third on a 51.2. Track his sector times as he goes through this lap.
Check the flag as well.
A little bit wider than he probably would have wanted through turn 1 there, but he seems to have held it together and kept a bit of momentum up. Let's see how he does through turn 4 here. Bit of a wobble on the exit from Tosa there, but he's held it together. His first sector time is not an improvement, but it's not very far off. So if he can have a really good second sector, he may still be able to make the jump on 5 aces for new here.
Meanwhile, James has jumped up into P5.
Oh, awesome.
Excellent drive from the third place driver last time out. In fact, he only appears to have completed 3 laps. Some people have done 7, so he's obviously been picking his moment and nailing the laps when he's had his chance. Seeing a much bigger spread of times here than we saw last week. I mean, last week I think there was about 20 cars within a second of each other. This time we've only got 4, but it is a longer lap, and it is a much sort of more. I sort of think it's a more technical track, and it rewards setup a little bit more than the Red Bull. Possibly.
Yeah, I agree. And also we've got Puff already today, who's a
yes.
force.
Yeah, I'm going to say if you take him away, then we're talking 7 cars rather than the 4 or the 3. So it's still a close field. Just Puff Pirate has a big edge, and he seems to really like this car. Didn't look to be an improvement from today. Then no, unfortunately not. Was not able to improve. So, as I think that is the last car over the line, we'll give you a quick rundown of your qualifying position. So, in first place we have Puff Pirate, second place is 5 aces for new, followed by Today, Night Tiger, James L, Stolnicus, Diluvian, Colonel McCoy, Gopher, and Eladir rounds out the top 10. In 11th we have the Dr. 46, Sharky OB, Hoikis, Gibbs, and Dutch Tactics 15th. Then we have Philip Backman, or Nakor, Nebs, Bumper Carrot, Drux, and then unfortunately I can't see anything else at the moment.
Rilo B21, but B20 and B21 is just G. B22 we have Concerned Morty and Nada, and that'll be rounding up to 23 drivers for today.
If anyone wondering about Battenberg on the stream, this is he is in the race to enable us to have better live timing. He is not going to be taking the start of the race.
Unfortunately, I do like this circuit, so I'll be up for it otherwise.
So this is one of my worst circuits generally in sim racing. I don't get on with it very well. I don't really know why.
Actually, shout it out for. I really enjoy the circuit.
I enjoy it. I'm just not very good. I don't know why. There we go.
Well, let's give Puffy 5 seconds so he can load his setup, and I'm gonna try to pull him in here.
Okay.
So while we're waiting for Puffy, this will be a 45-minute race, and the weather is going to start overcast, but then second slot, who knows? It's going to be random.
Well,
So we could expect to see.
I believe the drivers have seen what you might call an enhanced forecast. I think due to some slight issues with the random weather, it was sort of done with a random draw before the event, and it has been announced to the drivers. But in terms of us in commentary, it's
who knows?
yes, it will be truly random. I certainly am not aware what it is.
So with it currently being overcast, it's anyone's guess whether the race will end in dry or wet conditions.
Or bright sunshine, who knows?
Sam,
Yep.
your stream is not listed.
Yeah, okay, working on it.
The Wayfarer is just saying the channel can't see it. Stream is not listed.
Okay, apologies for that. I will get that sorted.
Yeah, well. Wait for the green light, and I'm going to try pulling Buffy. Yeah, pulling in Buffy.
User was moved to your channel.
Hello, Buffy. How's it going, buddy?
Good, how are you?
Good. P1 for you. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I like the car. I'm finally getting used to it.
We're definitely seeing it. Sector 2, Sector 3, you're the fastest out there, buddy.
Yeah, let's hope that like the 5 Aces guy seems he's new, right?
Yes, Vernix in 5 Aces is very new, and they're really quick.
Yeah, he's really quick. Like let's hope he doesn't have more pace than me on the straights.
We think from looking at it, he's got a slight edge in sector 1, but the rest of the lap you have an advantage. So
Okay, yeah.
we think probably your straight line speed through sort of sector 3 might be slightly higher, but we're not sure on that.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, my first race in the cup now, since I had to miss out the first, sadly.
Yeah, so you got something to prove, and you have to catch up with those points, eh?
Yeah, a few points to catch up. Let's see.
Well, good luck out there, and wishing
Thank you.
good luck. We'll see you on the other side, buddy.
Alright, see you, mate. Have a good one.
You too.
User was moved.
Well,
out
that
of
is
your
Buffy,
channel.
and wish him good luck for the race, leading the pack around.
Apologies to anyone who had some issues with the stream earlier on. That was totally my fault, but they should all be resolved now. So hopefully we will have a couple of people joining us, and yeah, if anyone has any issues, please let us know in the live chat on the revolutionsimracing.com website. Has any issues, please
Thanks,
let us know.
Wayfarer, for letting
in
me
the,
know about that. Yes, good thing you let us know about that before the race started. So welcome everyone. And just in time for the amazing race to start here at Imola. Just for those that missed out, I'm going to quickly show the time. So P1 Puffy, 5 Aces, today Night Tiger James, Stolnikus, Deluvian, Carl McCoy, Gopher, and Alodia rounds up the top 10. As they're forming up, coming around the last 2 corners at the moment.
So as we mentioned last week, the starting procedure for RSR involves the lead car calling green, green, green. We won't hear that because that will be in a separate TeamSpeak channel, but they will call green, green, green as he crosses the line. And that will be the cue for the rest of the grid to start. So there's no sort of like getting a jump on anyone here. Everyone gets to start at the same point. It looks like they are off, I think. Yep. Oh,
Yes.
is that the... No, that's
Not yet.
that's the early line. Apologies there.
And we're going green, 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 guys.
I think they've got a dream start there. It's gapped today, who's slightly into second by 3 tenths.
Oh dear.
Yeah,
Big
Gibbs
incident at the backs
coming
with
out.
Gibbs, and that is today's teammate. So that is Topsy, or possibly one of the under-teamed drivers.
bit. Puffy is still in the lead, quite comfortably. He's got a 4-10 gap between him and today, and then Vernu's dropped back a further 4-10. So looks like today Paul Vernu happy.
Yeah, a little bit. But judging by the qualifying pace, I think Vernu is probably the person who's most likely to be taking it to Puffy in the race. It'd be interesting to see how that translates into race pace, because they may of course have quite different setups. I don't know if anyone spent a lot of time doing a qualifying setup, or if we've got the more standard sort of do a race setup that you're comfortable with, and then just take the fuel out for the qualifying. So if anyone's
We're just getting to sector 3 now, and the top 4 have already pulled into some gap B5. So we've already seen Captain emerge out front runners, and they're making a run for it.
And looking at qualifying times, it's impressive to see Night Tiger sticking with these 3 actually. Although he did get qualifying sort of up to, I think it was 5th in the end, it didn't look like he necessarily had the same pace of those 3 guys ahead of him. So good to see him going with him, and it looks like Stolikus a little bit the cork in the bottle there. If we could go back to him very quickly, there's a bit of a queue forming behind him with James L, and then Gopher under pressure there from Conor McCoy.
So not quite close enough there for Colonel. You need to be, that braking zone is so heavy, you can't really come from too far back.
Yeah, you can't do a dive bomb there. You've got to be alongside, or the other person's got to brake early. I mean, what we might see a lot of here is you might see people just sort of showing their nose, just drifting left, putting the car in the mirrors. Not necessarily trying to outbrake the person, but just making them aware that they're there. It can unsettle a driver, you can force a mistake that way. So it's a tactic you see used quite a lot, so it might be interesting to see if we see that. As you see there, Diluvian getting past Colonel McCoy. It looks like McCoy made a mistake. So Diluvian was a real star of last week's race. He was running very, very quick. Latter stages he had a big pace advantage and was closing down the lead very, very rapidly. Unfortunately he had a bit of a crash. I think he finished about 11th last week. So he's got something to prove today. Hopefully he's got similar pace and he can put on a good showing.
It's worth remembering that it's only his 3rd race with us. He's still quite new to racing with RSR at least, but he's shown that his racecraft is right there already.
Absolutely, yeah. Very, very strong racer.
As we see Gopher very eager to pass James there, taking little peeks to the inside. Can't just show his face, put some pressure onto James there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Last 2 corners.
Got a long sort of section of flat out here. I hesitate to call it a straight because there's so many kinks in it, but these cars are comfortably flat. So yeah, as we say, Gopher is very keen to get past James. Looks like he has a little bit more pace possibly. Yeah, it's a tricky track to pass on, and it's a tricky track to follow closely on as well, because if you're unsighted, particularly around the Piratella and Aqua Minerale, it's quite hard to pick your turning points, pick your braking points. So it'll be interesting to see who can cut through this field.
Breathing down the Nubians there.
Yeah, he looks to get
on the outside here.
He's looking to
making the cut back. Oh, and
well defended by McCoy there. He knew where to put the car and where he needed not to be slow. So that was a good driving. Looks like McCoy is not happy that he lost that place. I think he must have made a mistake coming out of the hairpin. Sorry, out of Tosa.
Yeah,
when he lost it a couple of laps back. So
I believe in the first chicane lost the rear a little bit, which gave Colin quite a little bit of hope.
We saw that a lot last week actually with Diluvian.
Yes.
He was very, very slidey on corner entry and sometimes on corner exit as well. He appears to prefer a quite drifty car. And although it like I said, it did bite him a little bit at the end of that race, he had very, very good pace towards the end. It's like Eladir dropping a couple of positions there actually. I think that was Dutch and Nebs getting past him. Colonel McCoy is having another look at Diluvian. Doesn't look like he's close enough here, but if Diluvian has a bit of a wobble through turns 1 and 2 again, he might be able to get a run into 4. Let's see if we can... Oh, wide there from McCoy. He's pushing very hard. And McCoy is closing through there.
Most definitely.
I think his car's working really nicely through the first sector. There's definite pressure going on.
Seems like James is... Sorry, wait, let's go back to Colin McCoy. It seemed like he was peeping there quickly.
He was having a look, yeah. But looks like he's lost a bit of time. Looks like he's lost a bit of time.
James is also peeking. It's only because in front of the P5.
Oh, let's have a look at that one then. So,
I think he lost out a little bit, but definitely he was peaking earlier.
Stodicus does not seem as comfortable here as he did it at the Red Bull Ring last week, so looks like he's going to be under pressure for this race in terms of maintaining his championship position. James, very, very impressive. He was, as we mentioned quite a lot last week, he is an amateur driver. He got on the podium last time, he's running in 6th now, and his team, using only his score, are sitting 3rd in the championship, and as we mentioned during qualifying, nobody else in the team in 1st or 2nd are driving today. So in terms of people on the track, James L and Eladir are the leading combination, and they're both currently in positions for reasonable scores. Eladir's sitting 13th, James running really well up in 6th.
Martag is falling a little bit back from the front back, but still pulling almost a 4-second lead over of P5. I apologise, tongue's not working with me today.
Oh, today, is that today making a move on Vanu, or rather the other way round, because I think today was in the lead. So today and Vanu have just had a bit of a battle there. And Vanu has come out ahead, so he seems to have retaken that position that he lost at the start. Bit of a run wide for today then. Oh, and he's under pressure from Night Tiger, yeah. Night Tiger trying to cut back. If he can get a good exit. Oh, I don't think he's going to have, he's not going to have quite enough to get up the inside of Piratella, but he's having a look. Yeah, no, too far back to try that. You really need to be already alongside to make anything work through there. Today appears to be struggling with grip a little bit. He's seen him run wide a couple of times in the last couple of corners. And now Vanu is taking it to Puff Pirate. Be interesting if we can follow Vanu.
Awesome racing.
Does it look like it's starting to rain slightly?
Yeah, I'm seeing spray fall on my screen.
Yeah, wondering if it's fog, perhaps.
Potentially, yeah. Something's coming in, that's for sure.
It's very, very early for the second weather slot, but who knows? It's possible there is some.
Everyone's got some wipers on. No.
Yeah, I think it looks more like fog than rain, to be honest. I don't think it's going to be wetting the track, but it may be lowering the temperature, and it will affect visibility if it gets any worse. 5 aces for New here is really taking the pressure to Puff Pirate. Half a second.
So Herman seems to drop back a little bit.
Yeah, he was looking quite racy early on. Now I'm wondering if he's had another mistake, because he was definitely ahead of Dutch challenging James, and now Dutch Tastic is running 7th ahead of him.
We have James going off the track there slightly.
Oh no. So that's... Well, it doesn't actually seem to have cost him a position. He was...
Oh, James is struggling for grip.
I think it must be raining. Can we have a look at the leaders, see how they're coping with this? Okay, so still circular.
Definite, like... Yeah, they're struggling out there.
I think we'll be seeing some people pitting for some wetter weather tyres, or possibly, I don't know if they're running hards or softs for this race. If they're running hards, the softs might help them. They cope better with the colder conditions. So,
well, the conditions were fairly cold in qualifying, so imagine they'll be running softs. So be interesting to see what they do in the pits to
Yeah.
help with these changing conditions.
I suppose the only thing you can do is take some pressure out, because it doesn't look like it's going to be worth pitting for wet. It's not wet, but it's certainly not wet enough. So, very, very interesting conditions. This is going to really separate those with good car control. I actually think Puff Pirate might have some desync issues, because these do not look like normal racing lines.
Yeah.
I think actually his
is behaving a bit abnormally.
yeah,
let's
and
say.
he seems to get a lot of turning, considering he's completely sideways pointing the other direction. So I think actually his car is
issues, yeah.
yeah, I think his car's in better shape than it looks. And Vanu's actually dropped back a couple of tenths on that lap. But it certainly does look like the track is going to be getting slipperier, certainly colder in these conditions. And as we saw, that will potentially catch some people out. We did see James taking a couple of trips across the grass, although it doesn't appear to have cost him any time. James actually still got a couple of seconds to Stolnicus.
Whatever it is, it's definitely getting thicker. I think.
Yeah, there's a lot of
like
it
the
now, isn't there?
initial-
Yeah, on the long shots you can see a lot.
We have the first pitter. That's the damage.
Yeah, potentially.
Lucas is in.
Yeah, I did see the doctor pit early on, but it was far too early to be scheduled, so I'm assuming that must have been for a specific damage. That appeared to be for fuel, but not tyres. Interesting. Well, in fact, I think he needs to change all 4 tyres. Possibly they do the fuel first, or the repairs first, I suppose.
Look.
There's some guys ready with some tyres. Whether or not he's going to get them.
Doesn't look like he's getting there.
No,
No.
it
no
doesn't
tyres.
look like they changed the tyres. If he actually hasn't changed tyres, he will need to stop again, because the mandatory pit stop does require a 4 tyre change.
So at the moment, the top 4 has split into a top 2. Today, a Night Tiger have been lapping about a second and a half slower. No, correct that, about 6 tenths slower than the cars in front of them. And they're now about 3 seconds behind front 2.
So possibly just Puff Pirate and Vanu are handling these conditions better. Or, I mean, it's very easy for that to have been a mistake. So further down, how are people doing? We've got Gopher currently running in 12th, Diluvian in 13th, and in the pit lane. So I mean, we're approaching half race distance. So I mean, it's plausible for these to be scheduled stops, and particularly if people think they can improve their car with a tyre change or even a pressure change. You might see people coming in early, because the conditions certainly taking a turn for the worse, and they will be affecting the cars and the handling now. But the pace at the front is still very strong. White Tiger looks to have a good run on
It's
today.
definitely increasing. We're up to 4 seconds now from the front 2 to the rear 2.
Absolutely.
Night Tiger is taking some peaks onto today.
Yeah, Night Tiger also looks like he's got a bit more pace. He looks like he might be able to, well, I'm not sure if he necessarily be able to catch up to the guys in front. He certainly looks like he's got a bit more pace, and today's holding him up at this stage of the race. So if we can stay on board, there's not much time between them. Possibly follow this down into turn 1 and see if he can make a move stick.
They had a bit of exit there out of that corner.
Yeah, look, it sounded like Night Tiger got a bit of wheel spin on the exit there. Yeah, he's not as close as he was coming through the final sector there, is he?
Yeah, he should be safe going into turn 1.
I think so.
It looks quite close between Stolnicus and James as well, for the timing splits.
Yeah, James is closing right up. 3 tenths again there. This is certainly bordering between fog and rain now, isn't it? Although Puff Pirate still managing 51.
Oh, I'm hearing impacts. Something's gone wrong somewhere.
That was Night Tiger. Oh no, sorry. Puff Pirate.
No.
Puff Pirate's dropped 6 seconds.
Oh, there he is.
Buff bar into the wall.
And that looks like he tangled with somebody else. That appears to have been lapping traffic that's caused that. Well, I wouldn't say caused that. That appears to have involved a lapping car.
Vernox is under pressure by today.
Indeed.
They're
Oh,
having the inside and easily passes him.
I think does Vernu's car look damaged?
Puffy. We don't know.
No, his car looks okay, doesn't it?
God does look good.
I mean, if he's waiting for Puffy, then he must feel sort of to blame for that incident, or at least, you know, partially.
He's now pushing, so maybe something did happen in front of him.
Yeah. I mean, it's very easy to get unsettled. It is very easy to get unsettled, isn't it? If there's an incident in front of you and it can mess your concentration up. It's possible he just made another mistake, because it was 3 or 4 corners later on, wasn't it?
He
So
may
that-
also have needed to make avoiding action as well, so he could have lost time by going off circuit.
Well, he is
And he's
pitting. Yeah, possible he got radiator damage. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be very visible to have radiator damage that can send your temperatures shooting up. Puff Pirate joins him in the pit lane, so that's changed this race completely.
But noticing how the timings aren't that far apart, maybe Puffy can have a run up to the front again.
I mean, his pace is certainly good. If the damage doesn't take too long to fix, you know, if he's in there for 10 or 20 seconds, and he can get the tyres and get out, I'd sort of envisage him getting back up to 2nd or 3rd. It will be interesting to see. Wondering if we're not seeing tyre changes because it doesn't sort of translate when you're streaming, possibly, or it doesn't when you're spectating, because it doesn't look like Puff Pirate's getting tyres either, and I'm sure that if you're pitting now in the middle of the race, you would be taking tyres because you have to for the mandatory pit
I was going to
stop.
see this timing difference.
So we're just seeing Vanu leave the pits there. I think he had about a 6-second advantage when he came in, there or thereabouts. So it will be interesting to see how long Puff Pirate's stationary and how long until he gets out of that pit lane. So this is James and Stolnicus we're watching. Still very close battle here.
Yeah,
And
one of 2 battles on the circuit.
oh no, James has dropped it. Live on the stream, very well avoided by Stolnicus, and yeah, it looks like it's getting slippery out there. So that hasn't actually changed any positions. Okay, so I think Puff Pirate's probably only lost about 20-25 seconds in repairs there.
Yes.
Given his pace compared to most of the rest of the field, I think he can still get a good result here, and I think we may still see him top 5, possibly even the podium come the end of the race, because most of the people in front of him still have to pit.
Night Tiger's looking a lot closer to his name now. Right in his slipstream, heading down towards turn 1.
Not sure he's getting close enough to do it this time, but like we said before, if he can put on the pressure, he may be able to make something happen through 4 and 5.
Yep, and we're at half distance now, so...
Oh, and he's brake. Oh no! I was about to say he's braking a lot later, but too late it seems. So he is gonna.
Terrifying when that happens.
Oh, it's very very scary. See, I was going to say he's going to have to let today through, but today's already gone through.
Oh, we
seeing
have
more cars
James
pitting.
and Dutch Tastic, I think, coming into the pits.
That is indeed, yeah, James and Dutch. So that promotes Just G to 6th and Nebs to 5th. Colonel McCoy currently running 4th, but I do not believe he's pitted. So
And we're now really struggling with visibility on the long
yes,
shot.
we are.
As we see Gopher chasing down that Puffy in front of him? Yes, it is. That is Puffy.
Okay, so I haven't actually got them on my timing screens. Whereabouts is Gopher in positions wise at the moment?
Gopher's P18 and Puffy's P17.
Okay. So has anybody ahead of Puffy exited the pit lane? I think James and Dutch Tastic probably will. I don't think anyone else in the top 16 has pitted yet. Oh, actually, no, I'm telling a lie. I know the Doctor pitted very, very early. Whether or not that fulfilled his mandatory stop, I don't know. But I did see him come into the pit lane in the early going. That looks like Dutch Tastic has had a spin, or possibly Philip back when that starts their livery. It's very hard to see in the in these conditions who that was.
Trying to work it out now.
Also worth saying, Vernu also pitted, but that was also
Oh, I can see nothing.
what we think was damage.
Yeah. but I assume they would have got their mandatory pit stop out of the way at the same time.
Yeah, it makes sense to take the tyres off.
Absolutely, yeah. So I think it must have been Philip Backman with that spin, because Dutch Tastic is still very much within touch of James L, running 13th and 14th at the moment, but that is a little bit out of context due to the pit stops. So I think currently the lead car that has pitted is the Doctor, running in 11th. Maybe wrong about that, because we don't see all of the pit stops, but the lead driver I have seen go into the pits is the Doctor 46, running in 11th at the moment.
You've got Vernu just in front of him.
Oh, apologies, yes, we have Vernu. So Vernu running 10th, who was, of course, in the battle for the lead before, well, we believe he got together with Pirate, or at the very least they both got damaged within 3 corners or so. As we see
Nebs, Eladia and Rado going into the pits.
Yeah.
And Dutch Tastic, it seems. No,
Dutch has already pitted. Dutch pit.
13.
He's- Oh, so he has lost the position actually, because he was running behind James.
They are so close.
Oh, that's a brave move.
Inside.
Ah, that's a beautiful move. Really nicely done.
Amazing.
And Druck
And
is
Druck is
put into
realising
the
no,
pits.
he's going to come to the pits rather. Maybe undercutting.
Potentially, although it's a bit late for that.
Undercut.
Yeah, you know. One of them.
One of them.
Okay, so that move and the subsequent pit stop has put Dutch Tastic up to 10th, James L running in 9th, and Doctor 46 running 8th, and Vernu in 7th. All of those drivers have already pitted. We believe the top 6 are yet to pit, and there is a big gap on track that sort of suggests that is the case. So, leading this race at the moment we have Today, followed by Night Tiger and Stolnicus running at the top 3. They are all yet to pit. And then we have Colonel McCoy, Just G, and Nada. Yes, of course. So he's running really well actually in 6th. He's 40 seconds off the lead. We believe he's yet to pit, but it's a good solid run. And in conditions like this, generally the person who does the best is the person who makes the least mistakes, rather than the person with the quickest car. I'll tell you what, we'll have a good battle in a couple of laps, because Puff Pirate's coming up behind Diluvian. As we saw last week, Diluvian is a very, very rapid driver. There's about 3 seconds between them now, but I think Puff Pirate will be catching that fairly quickly. That's Diluvian on Dutch Tastic.
Yeah, Puff Pirate was the quickest car on the circuit last time around, so he's still right back on his pace as I earlier.
Absolutely. So his car obviously hasn't taken too many lasting effects from that incident that he had.
So the fight back is on.
Absolutely. And he's going to be catching this battle fairly soon. He's only a couple of seconds back. Dutch does seem to be holding up Diluvian. As we saw before, Diluvian's car is a bit slidey, so that may have got even trickier in these conditions. Let's see how he does. Is he going to have a look into turn 1? Dutch is covering that off nicely. He's going to make him go around the outside if he's going to look. Oh, no he's not. Oh, good driving by both drivers there. That's
yeah, such faith on the brakes by Diluvian.
absolutely. There's somebody off there, but I can't. Yeah, I could just see a vague outline of a car in the
I think it's
mist.
James. James is dropping down again.
Yes, it is.
Oh, it is. Unfortunate for James. So he's now in 13th, just been passed by Gopher.
I think of all the scenarios that could happen with the random weather start, I don't think freezing mist was one of the things they considered.
No. Okay, so Night Tiger's into the lead, but I think that's only because of his pit stop being ahead of today's. The entire top 4, Night Tiger, Stolnicus, Colonel McCoy and Today are in the pits. Let's see who gets out first. Looks like... Could we have a camera on Stolnicus or Today, please? See who's leaving the pit. Okay, so Night Tiger's leaving. And I think Today must also have left, yes. So Night Tiger is slightly behind Today. They seem to have held position through the pit stops. Stonicus leaves. He must have had a bit of damage, I think, because his stop seemed quite a lot longer. And has McCoy left his pit box yet? He has. So again, yeah, Stonicus and Colonel McCoy are still going to be battling over 4th and 5th. Now, 5 Aces for News, already up to 3rd. Looks like he lost about 10 to 12 seconds with the incidents that we saw. So he's now just about 12 behind the leader. Well, we can't do a comparison of lap times because the leaders have all pitted on that lap.
So Diluvian is Puppy's next target.
Yep, Puff Pirate's just got past Dutch and he is quite a distance quicker than anyone else on the track. And a couple of seconds on the last lap actually faster than everybody else. So you'd think he'd be able to get past Diluvian quite easily, but let's watch it and see. So distracting when your bonnet's bent up like that. Even if it's not affecting the performance, it makes it hard to drive the car quickly.
Good for them, they see him. I think definitely sometimes sinking issues to Buffy.
Yeah, it was that exact same corner we saw it on the first time as well, so I think I'm not sure why it's only affecting him, but...
Yeah, it's definitely not taking the Max Verstappen approach to getting your apexes. We're going to put it down to more of a sink issue than Puffy's choice of line.
There's no way he'd be able to do that, would he? He'd be off first time he even tried it.
Dusty going a bit wide there in the corner.
Yeah, that was an interesting line. I'm sure that was a mistake. I mean, it is.
As Buffy's really close this time.
I think he'll probably try and line him up to have a look into turn 1 here. If he can get a good exit here, get alongside.
Yeah, Diluvian quite scrappy through that section.
He is, but he got a good exit.
He loves that twitchy cars. I think that's how he drives. That's how he gets that car turned in so much more than Buffy in that corner.
So that takes the turn.
Using that slipstream.
Normally it's Diluvian getting chased by... Oh no, sorry, one way around.
Oh no!
Yeah, and they have an accident. Buffy's all over the wheel trying to grab it.
He's held it, he has held it, so he shouldn't have lost too much time. It's just if he's got some damage there. Dutch is back past him, but it's a question of pace. I mean, I think Puff Pirate will get past Dutch Tastic again. So yeah, currently running 8th. Everyone ahead of him has stopped, and he's 32 seconds off the lead now with 13 minutes to go. So we may see him back into 5th if that hasn't damaged his car too badly, but I think that's probably as high as we will see Pirate get now, given that incident. In fact, he's lost another place to just G. That may have been worse than it looked on the camera. Puff Pirate back up to pace.
Stonicus is now putting some pressure on the car away again.
Yeah, Stonicus running 6th, so this is the fight for 5th at the moment. While watching these come down the straight, just a quick shout out for the Doctor 46 running in 4th, very strong position there. He is the amateur driver in their team, in the Indoctrinators. He outscored Diluvian last race and he looks like he's on course to do it again, so really strong showing by the Doctor there. Excellent drive so far.
It's looking ever closer at the top as well. We've got Night Tiger closing within 4/10 of today.
Yeah, that battle's been going on for a lot of laps, hasn't it? There's a lot of pressure here and just good driving by both of them to keep it on the track in these tricky conditions.
We've already seen Night Tiger lock his brakes and almost go to the back of him at turn 1. So
and that cost him a lot of time.
Yeah, so he's
She's
caught
got-
up straight away.
Yeah.
So he's got the pace advantage for now. But it's going to be interesting to see who's going to crack first this time round. At this point, both drivers will have got a better feel for the conditions on the circuit and know what to expect for the last 11 minutes of the race, so it's pretty much anyone's game for now. So on board with Colonel McCoy. He's got the doctor just in front of him. Oh, got a car.
We see Stolicus locking up behind him.
Good basic manoeuvres there from Stolnicus. He didn't want to take out both of their races, so he opted to go off on the grass and rejoin safely, which is gives some good thumbs up from the two induction guys in the commentary booth. Papa is struggling again. Really shame.
I say that, but I think the damage is really playing on him right now.
But no, correction, he's actually got through that whole pack. Just G's got a little tail of that little group, so he's got through all three of them in the space of, what, 2 laps?
Yes.
So yeah, we should have more faith in Puffy. We know what he's capable of.
As we see, as I think it's Just G making the move? No.
This is Just G next and go for it, scrapping it out.
Oh, some nice late braking by Just G. Oh, he decides to not take it.
Likewise, that door is always going to close. We can just assume that, you know...
And you see Cody trying to break the slipstream there.
Neb's head must be on the swivel. He's defending from behind, but he's attacking in front. I think he wants to get out of the sandwich as soon as possible.
I think, as you said, it was a move that, unless somebody leaves that door, actively lets that space stay there, you're going to have to give it up. Impressive to see Just Gino break that late and still be able to pull out of it. He must have some performance on the brakes in this car, because normally if you've got that much of a sort of an overlap under braking, you're not going to be able to get that stopped in time to not take the corner.
I had a very intense, like 40-minute battle with Just G in the first track we did around Silverstone in the BRC Monos, and for the whole race he pushed me so hard. It's the most draining battle I've had ever in RSR. So Just G is capable of pushing somebody to their limit but keeping it clean all along.
That's what we like to see here. I mean, we've seen some very good racing in tricky conditions today, so it's good to see these battles, and it's good to see them staying clean and not ending in contact. Looks like Night Tiger's just dropped a few tenths back from today, but he's still right there within striking distance.
The Luvian have dropped down to P12. Not sure what's happened there. He was quite a bit higher than that.
Was he? Yeah, because he was running up near Puff Pirate, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was racing down Doctor at one point.
So Stolnicus has got past the Doctor, but they're still within a couple of seconds of each other.
They both had quite slow last laps as well, Stolnicus and Doctor.
Yeah.
57 from Stolnicus and 59 for Doctor.
Doctor, yeah, because I think the Doctor wasn't that much ahead, so possibly they had a little bit of a coming together, or they both had a bit of a sympathy spin. So we've got just over 7 minutes to go. Let's have a quick rundown of the top 15. We've got Today leading the race by just over a second from Night Tiger. 5 aces for New is a bit further back in third. Then we have Stolnicus and the Doctor, Colonel McCoy, Dutch Tastic running 7th in his first race in this event, because he missed the first race unfortunately. Puff Pirate's currently sitting 8th on a recovery drive. He is 2 seconds a lap faster than Dutch Tastic though, and only a second or so behind, so that potentially will be a change of position soon. We've got Gopher 04 in 9th and Nebs in 10th. Just G is currently running 11th, followed by Diluvian in 12th, Gibbs in 13th, James L in 14th, and then Nada in 15th.
So it's just over 6 minutes to go, and visibility is getting worse and worse. Not so bad when you're in a pack, because you can still see each other's headlights and brake lights, but on these wider shots, all we're seeing is white. If we were racing in Fuji, we would have a red flag light.
Yes, we would.
Luckily, our marshals are just taking so that's good.
And nobody gets hurt doing this. So that's James L making a move on Gibbs.
Oh, he takes it too wide.
Could not get it stopped. That is the danger, and he is lost. So that's cost him one position to Nada and potentially another one. No, I think it's just put him under pressure from behind from Rillo.
Looks
Very,
like
very.
circuit. Oh no, that's just visibility again.
It's very difficult.
So, I think of all people, these changing conditions have affected James the worst. He was running up near third or fourth earlier, and he's just had trouble after trouble, and his car doesn't look very clever either.
It seems like we have the curse. Every time we cut to him, we're having a little instant or a spin. So, on board Huff Pirate, running in 8th. Oh, Dutch Tastic has got past Nodicus because Huff Pirate was catching Dutch. Oh, as we say that, Dutch Tastic is no longer past Nodicus.
Commentator's good, guys.
Well, it seems like we can manipulate the result of this race quite easily by this. So, Puff Pirate has a quite big pace advantage over Stodicus. I'd expect to see him alongside the turn 1, or possibly making a pass later on in the lap. Looks like he's got a good exit here. So this is the battle for 6th position at the moment. If he can get this done quickly, he's only got 4 seconds to Colonel McCoy in 5th. So with 4 minutes to go, I quite fancy Puff Pirate might make that gap and be in with a shout of the top 5 come the end of the race. So that was a nice pass there. I think Stodicus knew that he didn't have the straight line speed to battle that, so he let it go, which is very wise.
I think that run that Puff Pirate had with Stodicus there kind of confirmed what we had a hunch for in qualifying, that his car is very slippery in straight line, which is attack in that sector. Yeah.
And I think particularly on a track like this where it's difficult to pass in the middle sector, but there's one obvious opportunity. It's a good tactic. You know, even if you compromise a little bit on optimum lap time, if you can get past cars and more importantly even just defend. You know, if you're nearly as quick as a guy in the slipstream, you're going to have a much better chance of defending a position than someone who's miles faster through the twisted stuff but can't keep up with you in the straight line.
Over a long race distance like this, it's that sort of approach is good for what we want to have a nice calm race.
Oh, well avoided there by Nebs. So that was that Diluvian spinning? It wasn't Gopher, was it?
I think it was.
No, it was a Gopher's the white car, CSR. Gopher's still ahead. That's Diluvian chasing Gopher now. That wasn't Gopher sideways, was it?
I don't think so.
Oh, could it be Gibbs? I think it might be Gibbs. Yes, it was Gibbs. Looking at the liveries, I think it must have been Gibbs.
So today's quite cold now. It's got a 2-second gap to night timer behind him. So we have roughly, I'd say, 2 laps to go from now. All today's got to do is hit his apexes, hit his braking points, stay out of trouble, not risk anything, and he should be okay.
Yeah, with the 2-second gap, it's, you know, you don't need to push too hard. He can manage this to the end. So yeah, the top 3 looks fairly static unless somebody makes a mistake. Then we have the Doctor running in 4th, Colonel McCoy in 5th, and Puff Pirate 6th. Puff Pirate's not made the charge I expected him to make on Colonel McCoy. He's actually only 2/10 faster on the last lap. So wondering if that sort of extra bit of damage we saw him get after the pit stop might have knocked the edge off his pace, or he just had a sort of a bit of a rough lap last time round. Yeah, unless he takes a big chunk out of him this time, he's not going to get a chance to challenge for 5th there.
Oh, that's a punt.
That was a punt. So that was Nebs on just G. I think we may see that one in the stewards room unless we see Nebs give that position back, and it doesn't look like he is.
Well, the thing is, he's got another car who's in between the two of them.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, if he will have to let them go.
No, he's got 2 cars. He's got both and the Luby.
Yeah, it looks like they were in quite a close battle, so maybe see Nebs may need to talk to the stewards after this race for that one. But we do have a good battle here for 9th between Nebs, Gopher and Diluvian, with Just G probably with a little bit of the red mist going on now, chasing them not far behind.
I think you mean Just G talking to the stewards for Nebs.
Well, yes, potentially. Just G will be talking to the stewards, and Nebs may be told to talk to the stewards. So the time has elapsed. Next time they cross the line, the race will be over. Go for having a run on Nebs here. Yeah, it's a very difficult place to pass, but he could get the run onto the next turn.
Take the inside.
I don't think he's going to get him here. Oh, he might. Nebs seems to be struggling in the straight line. If you can get alongside here, that is a legit. Oh wow, Diluvian's all over them. This is going to get tasty into Acqua Minerale.
Meanwhile, Manuel's crossed the line in the lead and he's won the race.
Excellent. Congratulations to Today for the win. So Neb's still holding these two off. I think the last chance here is into Ravazza 1 to make a pass stick. I don't think anyone's going to be close enough. Diluvian might have a look. But the only other option is get a really good exit from Ravazza 2, and you may be able to get past before the line if somebody in front of you makes a mistake. So just want to all keep it clean, but I think these are going to be the finishing position. So Nebs is going to take 9th, go for 10th. Diluvian.
As you see, Just G also challenging at the moment for Nardo.
Oh, so he lost another place.
He's lost 2. Gibbs is
Oh yeah, Just G. Yeah, Just G must have had another issue there because he was running behind Diluvian and then Gibbs and Nardo got ahead of him.
Race is done.
So yeah, that's everyone down to 6th. Little bit of afters there.
No.
Everybody down to 16th at least across the line. As soon as we get the final results, we will bring them to you. And in fact, here we go. So, race winner today was Today, with 24 laps completed, followed by Night Tiger, 5 aces for New, the Doctor 46 with a really strong result for him. Like we mentioned, he outscored his pro teammate last week, and he's done it again with a 4th place finish. So they're sitting pretty in the leaderboard, I think. Colonel McCoy came 5th. Puff Pirate with a strong recovery drive finished 6th. I have lost the leaderboard. Ah, there we go. Dutch Tastic finished 7th in his first race of the season, having missed race 1 at the Red Bull Rig last week. Stolnicus, race 1's winner, came 8th, so a decent drive from him. He did seem to be struggling with the car at times, but that's a good solid position. 9th position was Nebs, and rounding out the top 10 we have Gopher. Um, 11th place was Diluvian. He was followed by Gibbs, Nada and Just G. Eladiers in 15th, and Rillo 16th. Philip Backman or Nakor is 17th. Drax is 18th. Wikis is 19th. Concerned Morty was 20th. James L 21st. Bumper Carrot 22nd. And Sharky OB 23rd. Now neither Bumper Carrot nor Sharky completed the race, and James L either completed a couple of laps back or did not finish. I think possibly did not finish this one. Oh, it's gone.
Perfect timing.
Yeah, excellent. Just got to the end in time. Right, so let's try and grab some people for some interviews.
Let's call the leader. Today, the winner.
User was moved to your channel.
Hello and welcome today. How's it going?
Hello, hello.
What a race you had. So much action.
Yeah.
How was it from your side?
Oh, dude, man. I mean, I started like practicing like 10 minutes before qualifying because I'm middle of moving and everything. So I didn't think I would quali like P3. It was quite surprising. Then I guess I had some luck with Puffy and Vernox crashing out.
Yeah, we just sort of caught the aftermath of that. Looked like, well, we didn't really see what happened. We just saw Puffy had quite bad damage. Vanu obviously had something. They both had to pit that lap, so it obviously wasn't good for either of them. You had a lot of pressure, meanwhile, from Night Tiger for most of the race. How was that battle for you?
Oh yeah, it was all the time. Like look at the mirror at the back, look at the gap, and every time like decreasing, increasing. I had like lots of troubles through sector 2. I think I could gain some time in sector 3 again, and sector 1 was quite even. It was every time like lost couple tenth, gained couple tenth, lost couple tenth. It was crazy.
Yeah, he looked to be getting very close, leading into the tight chicane.
I told him that also after several times. I was like, all right, buddy, sector 3 is mine, not yours.
Yeah. It was good.
Though.
Yeah, really good racing and really good clean battle we saw between you guys. So it was good fun to watch.
Yeah, it was really good. It was really good. I mean, it's quite difficult to hit the track limits all the time on that chicane. I think I went out 3 or 4 times as well. It just happens. So you brake a little bit too late, or you're missing like a little bit the apex, and boom, you're on the grass street.
It's very, very easy to do. How difficult were the conditions for you? I mean, for us from sort of the camera views, the visibility was really bad, particularly on the longer shots. How much did it affect the track and your grip? Was the car different at the end of the race?
Yeah, it was like, I think the fog started to kick in after like 10 minutes.
It was very early, yeah.
Yeah, and I think I have no clue how Puffy and Vernox could stick to that pace. I think I lost like a second at least when the fog turn kicked in. After that, the rear was a little bit more unstable. You need to be a little bit more cautious with the downshifting and everything. Yeah, visibility. That was like every time, like, okay, I think I have to turn now.
It was the same for you as it was for us. That's really cool. We found it very difficult to see you guys. We already saw the lights coming through through the fog.
Which is fine for people who still had lights.
All right, so I guess like many thanks for commentating, and the victories for Topsy, who's not here tonight because some issues to sort out, so he couldn't be here tonight. But that's all for him, all for DAF Racing.
Excellent. Well, congratulations.
Yeah, awesome.
And yeah, good luck with the rest of the season.
Yeah, thank you much, guys.
Cheers.
Okay, bye.
See ya.
User was moved out of your channel.
Okay, well, let's put in Night Tiger.
Yeah, let's have a word.
User was moved to your channel.
Night Tiger, hello.
Night Tiger.
Hi.
How are you doing? You alright?
Yeah, oh god, I'm so still a bit hyped at the moment, but it was amazing race.
Yeah, well, I mean, excellent finish for you in P2. We caught a lot of your battle. You were back and forth with today for most of the race. How was it from your perspective?
Yeah, it went pretty good. The first couple of laps I could just hang on to the train, drive with them, just drive my own pace, and I was stuck at the rear. Then suddenly, I think today got overtaken, and then we lost contact with the first two, with Puff. But then they crashed, and then we were suddenly P1 and P2. And actually, I had the feeling that I was quicker, just that little bit all the time, but I couldn't pass him. So I thought, well, I'll try the undercut now. But then he pitted as well. So I should have hit it one lap earlier. And then after that, I struggled a bit with understeer the last couple of laps, went wide. And one instance, Manu, I think, braked a bit earlier, but I was also busy with my ICM. So then I brake normally, and then I thought, yeah, if I keep on the racing line, I'm going to hit Manu, so I'll just plow on.
Yeah, we did catch that one on the stream. We did see you sort of slightly off the track there, but it didn't. Yeah, like you say, it didn't influence anyone else. So it was just one of those things.
Yeah. If I continued, I would have hit Manu. So I thought.
Absolutely, yeah. No, it was good job getting out of the way of that one and avoiding a crash.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you said, I think it did show on the stream. We did think quite a lot of the time you had a bit of an advantage on pace, but you just couldn't get that pass made.
No, and my exit on the last turn was also I couldn't nail that one, never. So my exit was always not that great on the last turn, and then you can't really overtake them on the straight because you're on the back foot. Because if I would have nailed that exit, then I think I would have had a better shot. But I'm totally happy with P2.
Yeah, no, excellent result for you and your team. So well done for that one.
Yeah, how was it from the stream's perspective?
It was really good.
Really good, but very hard to see you guys. Very difficult to see you guys.
Yeah.
Do that fog. That fog was so thick you could just see lights coming down the lines.
Oh, obviously the fog. Oh. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh well.
But it was a good battling out there. Nice, good clean racing. There was some accidents at the end there, but good clean racing nonetheless.
Yeah. I think this was my best race to date.
Yeah, excellent.
Awesome.
Well, very good finish.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, we'll be pulling you out here. Thanks, Night Tiger, for coming in.
Yeah, no problem. Have a nice evening. Thank you.
Good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
User was moved out of your channel.
Okay, guys, I don't see Vernux at the bottom there. Do you guys see him there?
No, I don't. If Puff Pirate's still there, it might be interesting to have a chat with him, get his perspective on the crash.
Okay.
And obviously his fight back through the field.
Okay, putting him in.
User was moved to your channel.
Hello and welcome, Puff Pirate.
Hello.
How was the race from your perspective? Obviously, we just saw the aftermath of the incident on our stream. Do you want to talk us through what happened?
Yeah, sure. The race was beep. I don't know. It was I couldn't like build a gap at the start. I don't know if I was missing pace compared to quali, or it's just like the draft can't get rid of the guys behind you. It's just we had a nice little train, and Bumper Carrot crashed, and his car was like on the left of the exit of the first chicane, and I went to the right, and suddenly he just, I don't know what happened, maybe it was game lag or whatever, but his car was moving like over to the left, completely like blocking the whole street, so I had nowhere to go and just
Okay.
him.
So it wasn't an incident between yourself and Vanu or Vanux. It was actually a back marker that caused the initial problem, is it? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and then I had to nurse it back because I saw the engine temperatures were rising like quickly. I think when I entered the pit lane, I had 140-degree oil, which
Wow.
it's close to blowing the engine. So I was just like coasting to the pit lane, and then I got collected again.
Yeah, we saw that one on the stream actually. Coming out of turn 2 or 3.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, what can I say? He just lost it on the exit.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Well, that's one of those things, isn't it? It just happens sometimes.
Yeah. I knew it was happening, but there was like nothing I could do. I went as far right as I could, but he still hit me. But yeah, at least I had some nice overtakes, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, your fight back was pretty good. I think you got to 6th in the end. I mean, how difficult were the conditions towards the end? I mean, the visibility was obviously pretty bad. Was it affecting the car much? Did it affect the grip?
I'm not sure if it was the weather. I think the weather was okay. Like I think the air and track temperature was pretty similar to the overcast conditions, but I had some rear aero damage, and it made the rear end pretty unstable, like not what you really want when you push.
Yeah, absolutely. Um,
Yeah.
one thing we noticed from qualifying as well, and sort of in the race, I don't know if it was conscious, but your car seemed to have a bit more straight line speed than a lot of those around you. You seem to be doing very well in sector 3, and sort of sector 2, and then losing a little bit in sector 1 where the slightly higher speed stuff is. Was that deliberate? Did you actively aim for a fast car with a straight line, or was that just how your setup turned out?
Yeah, I was experimenting a bit with rake, like, but I think I actually sacrificed like 1 or 2 kph down straight, which maybe was the reason why I wasn't so good into sector 1. But I realized that I'm really good in the chicane, like the second one, the tight one with the high curbs. So I realized that I couldn't overtake anyone into turn 1, so I focused on that one. Not pretty hard to overtake there, but I think I made one around the outside stick, which was pretty nice.
Nice.
But yeah, overall, like a bit disappointing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but it was unfortunate to have the couple of incidents, but I mean, 6th still a good result. Still a strong position, and you can build on here for the rest of the season.
Yes, I guess so.
Yeah.
Onwards and upwards.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, well done though. Nice fight back, at least we saw from you.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, that's it, Puffy. Thank you very much for coming in here.
Thanks for picking me.
Okay. Moving you back down.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
User was moved out of your channel.
Yes, and that concludes the second race of RSR.
Yeah. Thank you to everybody who's joined us, and thank you for our drivers. Where are we next week? What's the oh, it's a week off next week, isn't it?
Yes, next week they'll be taking a break. We'll be doing a normal ranked event in between, a fun event, and then we'll be going back to the tracks again. I will be finding out now.
Yeah, same thing.
I'm busy looking at the calendar, opening it up, and let me just change the month.
I believe it's Donington. Off the top of my head, I think it's Donington. How slip are we? It's been going so well.
Yeah, it's been going so well, and it hasn't.
No, correction, we're at Fuji next.
Oh. No, Fuji will be a really fun race to watch because there's a huge straight. I think it's 1.2, 1.8 kilometers. It's a very, very long straight. So I imagine we will see a lot of overtaking into turn 1. And it's actually quite a trick. I want to say infield, but it's not an infield section, is it? The
final sector.
The final sector.
Yeah, well, I have it here. It's 6 November. Fuji, 45 minutes still the same, and the weather will be hazy. So it's going to be really good.
Yeah, we won't be able to see any of it.
Time too. 6 in the morning.
So yeah, cold track potentially.
6 in the morning. Wow. Yeah.
But yeah, no, Fuji. It's a very, very interesting track. You've got a hugely long straight, so you need to prioritise top speed. But then there are enough fast corners where downforce would help you that you have to really compromise which way you go on your setup. And as Bamberg was saying, the final sector is just so difficult to get right. It requires such a lot of practice, and it's just, yeah, there's nothing like it.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be racing there this Saturday with the other RSR member Wayfarer. I think he's probably still watching. So we'll probably have a stream up for that. So tune in on Saturday to see how we get on. It's the second round of the VLMS. It's like a WEC sort of event on R Factor 2.
That is awesome, and good luck for that.
Yeah.
That's my little plug then.
Right, so yeah, thanks again for joining us. That was round 2 at Imola of the RSR Cup. We're in season 3 now, and that was the top split stream. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time for Fuji, and we hope you join us then. Thank you very much.